Gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. Today we have a treat especial. In this video, we're making a see-through speaker box and a frame for a DIY half-size Leslie Spinamathing. I had just chipped my tooth on some soup up here in the Great White Norte when my pal Don't Paw, the electric chicken, told me he was using his confuser and saw on the gurgle the usual scumbags, homeless despot, and lousers didn't have the thickness of FCC compliant plastique we need in the proper accoustrement. And me, not having the recipe for transparent aluminum, you know, the one you use for transporting humpty-back whales into the past, into the future, so they can communicate with the space aliens and save the world. So I called the local Von Trapp Plastic and asked what they had for transparent sheets. They asked if I wanted Krylux, acrylite, Perclax, Perspex, lucite, plexiglass, acrylic, or poly. So I told them I wanted 3/8 and no ABS, TPE overmolding, or Solastic. So they recommended E6000 adhesive. It's an industrial strength, clear drying, flexible epoxy that dries very clear. Super cool. Today I'm going to wire up an electric filter system for a speaker with a rotating horn and a tweeter and a rotating baffle for the woofer for an idiot! A passive crossover splits up an audio signal after it is amplified by a single power amplifier so that the amplified signal can be sent to 2 or more driver types, each of which represent different frequency ranges. These crossovers are made entirely of passive components and circuitry, which means that they need no additional power source. A passive crossover is wired directly to the power amplifier signal, and not to a full bridge rectifier. Very high performance passive crossovers can be more expensive than active crossovers, so they're out. Passive crossovers are usually arranged in power topology and use a Butterworth filter effect. The flux capacitor is optional. Perhaps I could use shorter wires. That wasn't so hard. Lastly, we're going to wind our own inductor coil for Mr. Half Size. An inductor is also called a coil, a choke, or reactor. I know how I would react if I were being choked. I weighed the spool of copper wire, and we're going to need about this much wire. I measured it out by length. This is as much as we need for that inductor. We put the copper in the slot, stick the spool on the shaft, start her up a little. Now when I step on the gas, the spool will roll right up and we'll have our inductor. Oh yeah, clockwise. Now they say You should not use a glove when you're working with spinema things. But I don't. Maybe we'll buy one.